com. Tuesday edition, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gonna start blabbing away. And if you're here watching this early, we're gonna get right into it. So the topic is interactive brokers, futures trading, options trading, pretty well any kind of trading on interactive brokers. That's the cool thing about it. So let's talk about it. Now, if there's any specific questions that come up, let me know. But right now, everybody knows interactive brokers can pretty well cover all the major asset classes. I bet you I know who's online, Mr. Code or Mr. Oh, there he is. Hello. Thank you for your package. I appreciate that. I'll check it out. Anyways, coming back to interactive brokers, it covers everything: retail forex, futures, options, equity, a little bit of crypto, depending upon where you are, and some other stuff, I'm sure. Anyways, I could probably trade on futures and options with interactive brokers. I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't feel the same way as if I'm with Rithmic. So as a result, I stay on Rithmic just to bring everybody up to date. I'm banging out, if you haven't seen my long form video I put out yesterday, I'm banging out strategies within 10 minutes with the setup I got with VS Code, this extension called Code, and using Minimax M2.1 AI LM model. Fantastic. I'm just testing it now. Been testing it the last 2 days. I'm very surprised with it. I'll go into that, but it's a very worthy LM to look at, considering you save 5% of what Claude will give you, and the code quality is getting as good as Claude, maybe better, because of the costs. And that's the first time I have said that in the last year and a bit I've been doing this. So be on lookout for Minimax. And anyways, I can go on about that. I could bring that up later on. Anyways, coming back to the interactive brokers, I'm going to bring out a kind of course now. If you've been on these streams for the last couple of weeks, months, everyone asks, where do I start? Where do I go? So I decided to take the little poll I ran, 20 people. I think only one person said no. They all want to use interactive brokers. So I went with that, and I kind of combined it with the need of a course that kind of builds sample code, trading bots, real trading bots as a client, and then have a central server bot, I guess a server class within Python, and that will be the gateway into interactive brokers TWS, because that's the easiest way to connect into interactive brokers. I'm also assuming most people don't have a funded account, so they can kind of start for free outside signing up with interactive brokers. So I'm going to do that. Assume that. So there's going to be that code, the gateway code similar to what I use now or will be using. And I'm going to have 3 separate bots right now. One for ES futures, another one for Euro USD, which might be retail Forex, and another separate one for Bitcoin. So there'll be 3 client trading bots there as demonstration. I'm also going to make some videos on how to use it and generate your own trading bots. You can I'll show you how to do it with Minimax and KiloCode. KiloCode's free. I haven't paid anything for it. Minimax is the #1 LLM used with KiloCode. And if you saw the diagram, it's by a long shot. Like, it's extreme. And I think through that, that's how I found out about KiloCode. And it's the #1 app on Product Hunt. It was the #1 coding AI thing for a while. A couple of weeks ago when it came out, still maybe. It's fairly new. Works awesome. And there's so many ways to connect into it. with your bring your own key arrangement. So I look into it, called Kilo Code extension for VS Code, and there's other ways to use Kilo Code as well. And I've played with, thanks for like, and I played with Rue Code. I played with Windsurf. People seem to really like C-Line as well. I haven't played with that, but Kilo is open source, which is good as well. I like the concept of it because there's a couple of things that people may not know when it comes to AI. If you're going through an open router, I know Hugging Face is free, but if you're kind of using a third-party chargeable LLM, usually the provider like OpenRouter, I don't know if OpenRouter does this, but they will mark up the cost of the AI usage, as opposed to you just used it directly, like Claude, let's say. So be aware of that. I can't say if that's the same with OpenRouter, but Kilo Code claims that they don't have that. Now it's coming back to the interactive brokers. If you got questions, let me know. I don't need to blah all night. But if you got questions, let me know. As I said about the interactive brokers, I moved off it because it's just kind of getting under my skin. But it's very doable to work with interactive brokers. I have no real hate towards interactive brokers. And it's a great place to start. As I said, you can start for pretty well free with a demo account. You can download their trader workstation for free and kind of like simulate the trading. It's not real, but at least it gives you the understanding the mechanics of how to build out a trading bot and maybe have a server, because that's the best way to architect it, is to have like a trading gateway into interactive brokers, TWS, because you can only do it one connection. You can't have TWS running and also have log into the portal. Just doesn't allow it. So I'll leave it at that. If you got questions about the AI I mentioned, I'll gladly answer that as well, meaning the Kilo and the Minimax as well that I put up yesterday. So first question came in from Mr. Harry Potter. Thank you very much. You try agents so far like Nanobot or Agent Zero? No, I haven't. I don't know any of these other servers you mentioned here, Nanobot and Agent Zero. I will say I have tested out Claude. As I said in my long form video, if you're vibe coding, you will get killed on the billing for building your compiling whatever language you're working with. You also will get billed for running it as well. And it gets very expensive. I don't know if you know with the Claude Code, they say they had built a so-called C++ compiler across, I think it was 12 or 14 agents over a month. They spent $20,000 in that period of time. So for people that are tight, that's expensive. But it's a big accomplishment for them to be able to do that. Now, as I said earlier, if you want to save money, go with the best one I found was Minimax, M2.1. Just so one of the audience members here, I know, I have compared Minimax, Claude, the new one, 4.6, Opus, up against both Minimax and the one that this person uses, the Qwen 3 Coder Next. Okay, the Qwen Coder, that version's pretty good. I'm not lying, it's very good. But if you want better than that, go with the Minimax one. Obviously, the Claude Code is good, but for the price, when Minimax is only 5% of what you'd pay for Claude, it's a no-brainer to me to go with Minimax, and it's flawless now. You can build stuff flawlessly. Just so people know, I've just initial cut built out the course using Minimax. The value add for my stuff is where I have the videos, the videos demonstrating how to use it, how to modify trading bots and creating new ones with this type of little simple architecture. You can do it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it could be any kind of instrument. Any instrument could be a stock, it could be a ETF, it could be retail forex, as I said, futures, options, crypto, because it's interactive brokers. It trades with anything. So as you know, So Harry came back. Thanks again for the questions here. Yeah, they really are getting aggressive with the price to block kind of retail traders, non-professional hedge funds. Minimax is good if you already have some idea what you're doing. I have to say I've done this. I just did it like in the last half hour where I just told it, like I just said, give me a Python script with the architecture I just identified. Give me 3 examples, how to do it using some way to communicate between all the different Python. It was like a 5-liner. And it generated it. I haven't run it yet because I'm doing this, but it's very sophisticated. So to answer your question, Mr. Harry Potter, it is really good. And people go, well, why is it so cheap? I found this out through different AI gave me the same answer. It's no different in why are the Chinese cars that are supposedly good but really cheap, like a third of the cost of what a European or a US car would cost. It's because the CCP, the Chinese government, subsidizes those manufacturers. And so they are also subsidizing your AI usage if you use something like Minimax. So you have to ask yourself, they will pay a price, but they will pay 95% of what you use in AI. It's a no-brainer, and the CCP will literally subsidize your AI usage. If you go through a third party, you don't have to worry about privacy or identifying yourself. I would not go direct. That's number one. But if you go through another router, like OpenRouter, you're going in anonymously because OpenRouter is going to use their own connection into something like Minimax or any other Chinese or any other LLM. And I wouldn't be surprised that Ollama has a way you can download it as well. Somebody told me out of France it was 70 gig. So that 70 gig is kind of worth it if you want me for what you're getting and you're running it locally and for free. I mean, I don't usually go on and on about LLMs, but yeah, it's good. And I've always loved Opus, but it's just gotten so expensive. Oh, I've gone way off track as usual. Okay, let's talk about the agentic. So when you use these client CLI tools like Claude Code, be aware whatever you use, if it's Gemini, OpenAI, the new one, the Codex, it's on Mac that just released, it's agentic. So when you put in your query, your prompt, it's going to run in parallel 10, 15 agents to get you a response and get you what you want built out. You pay for that. And you want the better output and better response or better quality, you use the more advanced models, and you pay for that. So depending upon your tolerance, the thing is with these things, because it's agentic, that means there's more utilization on their servers to achieve your prompt. So the more utilization you put out there, the more expensive it gets. And I can tell you, some of the prompts that I was getting with Claude Code, I didn't use it very long. It was beyond expensive. It was like, I think I put a video out on it late last week. The other thing is when like if you use the prior Qwen 3 coder outside of Next, which is really good, I couldn't, it was nothing but errors, and that's free. And there's literally no cost with Qwen 3. So because of that, you get what you pay for. As I said, if you use the next version, it's fine, but for a little more and less cost, Minimax like really was the one. And I've compared all of them yesterday. I've compared all the major ones, and Minimax was by far the best one outside of Claude 4.5 and Claude 4.6. But if you want to go paid, The Codex 5.2 from OpenAI is pretty good, where the cost is not so high, and the quality using something like Kilo, it's okay. It's okay. I found that was really good. So hopefully I'll answer your question. Now, let's talk about this pricing for retail traders and professional hedge funds. Everything's going through a race to the bottom, but I do believe, as I said yesterday, that I think this really is going to become a real problem for US-based LLMs and models. When DeepSeek, we haven't even talked about DeepSeek coming out in the next week, coordinating with the Chinese Lunar New Year. DeepSeek 4 may be a huge game changer again. That's why all these providers put out their latest and greatest versions in the last week to sort of keep up with what could come out of DeepSeek 4. Okay, but I'm now just talking about Minimax. And as I said, the US model providers, LLMs, are going to have a real hard time. Reason I say that is because when you have a high quality LLM like Minimax at 5% of the cost of Anthropic or Claude, how do you compete? Like, seriously, how do you compete? And as I said, the only way I could see this working for these Chinese models is that the CCP, the Chinese government's paying for it and subsidizing it. And people go, why would they do that? It's their way of trying to take out as much of U.S. innovation industry as possible. That's why they have these cars like really cheap. That's why they're trying to make these cars really high quality. I can't say, I don't know. But, and look at that trading thing that happened with gold and silver last week, where it dropped so much. The U.S. government, Besson, is saying, oh, that was the Chinese traders did that. So there's all this going on. And China, one way or another, is really trying to really compete against the U.S. Also in the AI world as well. And Minimax is out of Shanghai, China. And yeah, if you want a good one, try it out. If you want to save money, I like it. And if you're worried about it, you may be able to build it locally through Ollama and downloading that. As I said, somebody told me it's a 70 gig download. Might be worth it. I don't know. Anyways, if you got questions, let me know. This is, as I said, this is going to change everything for people because it's very powerful. I still see people advertising third-party tools and services built on AI. I'm going to be honest, I don't think you really need that anymore. The AI has gotten so good now, and when you get a really cheap, I won't say cheap, but really affordable Minimax AI, it's hard to compete against that. Hello, Paul Jackson. How are you? I wonder if it's a Paul Jackson out of UK, long time ago. Yeah, because I knew a Paul Jackson out of UK a long time ago. Let me know. Anyways, hi back as well. If you guys got questions or comments, let me know because I'm here to answer whatever you might have. Harry Potter asks, training is very important, and the West is an open source free training ground compared to China that still don't have this type of 100% free access to those tools, I think. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, but I'm also thinking as well, because I don't know. I'm just stating what I'm seeing, okay? But they do have a huge, long runway when you look at DeepSeek, because DeepSeek's been in development for quite a long time and then just suddenly came out with it last February, and look what it did to the markets. And look what the Anthropic Claude work did to the markets last week when it took out all those software SaaS stocks. So this stuff does have huge impact, of course, and on the overall economy. And there's the same in China as well. So I don't know. All I can say about DeepSeek, apparently, from what I understand, DeepSeek's used in now it's a company called Huawei. All of their stuff is backed by DeepSeek. One of the big car manufacturers, all their dashboards are built with DeepSeek. I do know that the Chinese military uses DeepSeek. as well. So it's out there, and DeepSeek's a lot bigger than most people do not realize. It's big in Russia. It's big in the Mideast. It's big, not just the smaller AI, not smaller, but other big AI out of US. And I think this is a big advantage that something like DeepSeek has over the globe, because they've now pretty well penetrated a lot of big markets globally. Whereas I'm not sure where it stands with the US. But time to time I see when you get into using OpenAI, the server response can be quite slow compared to a Chinese one. Yeah, so the speed is another big one. The code it generates is flawless, meaning no errors, literally, or maybe one error, but who knows? Anyways, I think talking about Chinese AI scares people off on YouTube. Anyways, let's talk about Interactive Brokers still. How many of you out there are using Interactive Brokers? I'm just trying to gauge the audience here, because Interactive Brokers is pretty well the largest broker out there for retail traders. Their commissions are fair. The support, I don't know. But one thing I'll say with AI now, AI makes life easier now for a lot of the big APIs like Interactive Brokers, and I'll even say with VS Code. I wouldn't be on VS Code without AI. But yeah, I'm using VS Code. The same person on here has heard me rag on about VS Code for what, a year plus year. He's probably laughing right now, but yeah, I use VS Code now. Anyways, yeah, so coming back to the open source component from Harry Potter, that's another big thing that DeepSeek did and changed, because it was open source. Open source is big, and when you watch the Kilo extension, or Kilo Code extension, on one of their videos, they say the same thing, is that they don't want to have black boxes anymore. They want to be transparent, and Kilo Code is open source. I believe Minimax might be open source as well, but we know their best stuff is obviously kind of like behind the scenes, commercialized or closed source. Harry Potter asks, never try them. I heard that orders going more fast without holds. I don't know if that's true. I use Webull, Robinhood, Thinkorswim, and E-Trade. Well, it depends. If you're using automation, if you're going through a platform, and that was another prediction I made because of this Minimax and the combination that I'm showing with VS Code, I also think that trading platforms are going to become obsolete in no time, because you're dealing with proprietary languages like in MetaTrader or TradingView, and that was one of the videos I showed how a random Pine script in TradingView, and I was able to convert that in 5 minutes into Python. Did the same thing with MetaTrader as well, flawlessly, with Minimax. That's how far along we've come. CNN, VS Code resistance is futile. Yes, it is. Once you become consumed into the into the collective, that's what it is. Resistance is futile, for those that don't know, is from Star Trek Next Generation, and I think the whole resistance futile thing is exactly to become part of their hive mind, which is a collective. And we can look at the current political situation today, where it is they're trying to push a hive mind, for sure. No resistance, no dissonance allowed. Anyways, if you guys got questions or comments, let me know. So yeah, I think the closed source stuff it's still there, but to build the next generation of credibility, you want it to be open source, especially when it comes to trading. And there is open source out there. As I said, I know KimiCode is open source. I think, yeah, RooCode started open source. But where they make their money is when they go enterprise, right? So if they go enterprise, they're charging $300 a seat with Kilo, and that includes being able to lock down users what they can and cannot access. So that's how they're making their revenue as well. Smart. I mean, it's a freemium model for all of this, including any of the so-called open source Chinese AI models as well. They're all going to charge you at somewhere along the line. I mean, Manus is the most expensive one that Meta just took over. So it's an interesting original Chinese model as well. But that's really the first AI generated one. So Harry Potter comes back. Got the questions rolling, man. That's good. I'm really intrigued by your latest video on the indicators in the Python code. DeepSeek looks like it's reaching its final version and GLM-5 is already here? Really? One thing I'll say about GLM, that one's expensive. That one's very expensive. I tested last week. I was shocked. That's why I don't talk about it. I would easily take Minimax over GLM. I'll test it out. I'm going to test out the Sonnet 5 when it comes out. But yeah, the DeepSeek is there. Just as I said, they're going to release it supposedly coinciding with the Chinese New Year. So I use Qwen 3 for the code so far on my application undercover under Pony alpha name. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with Qwen code, but definitely if you're going to just stick with Qwen code, get on the latest LLM, the next code. The GLM-5 was using the Pony. Okay. Now I'm trying to, under the Pony alpha name, I'm trying to understand the relationship there when you say alpha under Pony alpha name. I'm trying to understand that one. Maybe somebody else can hit me up on that. As I said, if you guys got questions or comments, let me know. I'm here to help. It could be interactive brokers. Yeah, so there was that mention about the Python. The only reason I would probably tell people to go with Python and target programming language, it's easy. The big benefit, it's the rapid development you get with it, because it's a pretty straightforward language. I mean, they're teaching 5-year-olds with Python. I mean, that's how easy it should be, right? So it's a necessity to be in the modern day world now. So that's one reason, but the real reason is because of the rapid development. Up until a month ago, I was going on about speed of execution. And Python may get there one day, I don't know. Might be something else, I don't know. But speed of development's important because if you know how I work it now, I can build up 25 strategies available from news alone. That gives me a ranking, what to trade, how to trade it, the amount of contracts, if it's an option or a future. I don't know if people have seen that. And now I can build out trading strategy code from that in 10 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. Just depends on how sophisticated it is, and that's with Minimax. That's the mind-blowing part of it, right? So if anyone's new to all this, and once this new little mini course is done, that's where I'll point them. It's like everything's almost literally for free, and you're going to get a model that's really high quality and is very, very, very cheap to use. If you really had to, you can download your own Ollama local version if you really want to go down that path. Okay. Let me know if you guys got comments or questions beyond me rambling on. I do like interactive brokers. The issue I have with it, customer support, which is rare. The other one is it's very limited. Like if I had to start over where I'm at now without Rithmic and the futures broker, I'd probably just stick with interactive brokers is what I'm going to roll out. I'd probably stick with that. The only other reason I went with it is I thought, I'll do this direct market access stuff and C++. I tried that. And I got it working, and I got it working great. You can see that at the bottom of that Bitcoin thing in the shop link. That's an ultra low latency demonstration of Bitcoin. And that's what I focused on for a while, but I started to realize it's really overkill, and that's why I went more medium frequency. And I just so people know, I haven't looked at my Interactive Brokers account since August. So we're going, what, 5 months? Yeah, let's say 6 months. I have not looked at my Interactive Brokers account, okay? I haven't done anything with it. It's up in the last 3 months, 18%, and it's up 14% year to date. That's really good. And it's just two positions, two holdings. Philip Morris, the cigarette company or tobacco company, and OR, which is a gold royalty out of Quebec. And it's doing pretty good. So my point is, if you don't trade and buy and hold, it can do well for you. You don't look at it. That's why I bring that up. But it's kind of funny because when you actively trade trying to beat the market, probability you're going to actually lose money, which is obviously what you don't want. So as I said before, if you could slow down the trading, you're in pretty good shape. So there's a variety of ways to look at it, but I could go on. But if you want me to go on, just tell me about how I plan to do that. But right now, I'm here to serve you. If you got questions or comments, let me know. Appreciate all the questions out there. Okay, let's see if I could go on about what I was saying. So I'm not at a point where, as I said, I can generate about 20 strategies every day built around news events. And that's purely only on futures and options. Some of them, I'd say most of them are pretty wild in what they promise. You can validate the strategy, which I did, and the ones I validated were pretty valid according to Gemini. So I move ahead generating that because it only cost me 10 minutes to do, and I run it. And last Friday was the breakthrough moment where I actually got orders coming through the Rhythmic Trader Pro, so I know it works. So I could start live trading tonight, today, tomorrow, if I find something I like, and I'm going to do that eventually. Just got to find something I like. So we'll see. I was trying a simple moving average cross thing, and it went crazy on Friday. Bing, 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 all the notifications on the Rhythmic Pro were going off crazy. So it works. So I'm happy about that. Just got to find the right strategy where I'll turn it on and actually go live with it. So there's that. Anyways, you guys got questions or comments on Interactive Brokers or automated trading, algo trading? But as I said, with some of the strategies, I'll give you. Oh, we got a question. Thank you, Harry, for asking. This is great. From 1 to 10, what news data for news media sentiment is more accurate, more effective for trade on crypto stocks and futures? Let me answer it this way. I'll give you all three. I'll answer all three based just on this morning's news. In terms of crypto, the crypto trade is very simple. Low volatility right now, Bitcoin. So the trade is simple. If we know the Bitcoin's going to go up in 3 months, what the strategy says, buy a bunch of contracts for March and then buy a set of contracts for June. Somewhere in there through the strategy and how it's modeled and how the algo is done, there's a trading opportunity and a very high probable strategy out of that. That came from one feed that I use for crypto, okay, which is going to be the majority of news, which is going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I tell it I only want futures on options, nothing else. Just to let people know, the CME now yesterday added Stellar, which is XLM, XRP, and Solana to the CME. So you'll be able to trade those as well as of yesterday on the CME, just so you know. So in terms of effectiveness, it really depends upon market opportunity. So if the current news is saying that low volatility on Bitcoin, which it kind of is, there could be a trading opportunity, and you can get AI to generate that for you. Is it reliable? I don't know until I trade it. Okay, live money. So that's where we're pretty well on now. So let's say with stocks, so there was another strategy came out with that was high risk, which was for the S&P 500 ES for the March contract. That one was high risk. I don't remember the actual details of it because there's like 20 plus. So I don't pay attention to that one. But the ones that are looking good right now, there was one yesterday for oil, and that was trading around the volatility of oil if there's an attack on Iran. And there was a whole bunch of setups you could set up with a bunch of calls on oil. And if there was an attack, it would spike. But at the same time, you're able to protect on your downside with that one particular strategy. So yes, that is a current day event for oil. If there was a probability of Iran to get attacked and the price of oil will go up based around that. So it's very current, and when you read through the detail of it, it goes, that makes sense. Same thing with the Bitcoin, as I said before. There was an interesting one on treasuries. It was a three-way arbitrage trade between the 2-year, 5-year, and the 10-year. Can't remember, that was a high risk one, but I wanted to see if it would code that up, and it did. So I'm testing that one. Also, there was a strategy for, just trying to think here, there's oil, gold. I'm not seeing as many gold strategies coming up in the AI among all the ones that are being suggested. And the reason is coming up because in the news right now, there's a lot of questionable things with gold. As you know, gold dropped, late last week? And that spooked gold traders and silver traders. So you're not seeing the opportunity with gold because of that. And that comes up in the news feeds. So there's a correction there or legitimacy to that. I'm seeing more oil trading opportunities because oil could spike for a variety of reasons. Iran being attacked is the classic. Bitcoin could spike as well. So I'm seeing more of that in the AI, and I'm able to develop strategies around that. So the news events are very accurate, scary accurate, in fact. Harry Potter, we see some raise on odds for Iran attack on the prediction market. So oil must be accurate at above 60% possibility. With these strategies, if you go onto my website, quantlabsnet.com under the blog, I did put up a sample of these. I call them trading plans now. I made one available on Friday. So you can see that as an example. And you can see what it gives you. It gives you the expected portfolio metrics, Sortino, annual return, win ratio, max drawdown, the projected for each one. It gives you what's driving that news and why it's suggesting it. And more importantly, it tells you what to trade, when to trade on the exit and entry conditions. It will also tell you the amount of option contracts you buy versus a futures contract. It will also tell you the projected time horizon on that trade. So the the Bitcoin one, I believe, was up to 18-week trade. And it had a pretty good 30% return, I believe. Now, obviously, I don't know if that's true or not, but it will also mark out what's low risk, high risk, and medium risk. So obviously, you go the low risk with the highest potential, like the highest return rate, highest win ratio, or the highest expected Sharpe ratio, or profit factors. You get all those metrics. And if you see the ones that are really pretty high with high projection and with the events that it gives you based upon that strategy outlook, you ask yourself, is this legitimate? Does this sound reasonable? And then that is what you use to maybe say, okay, I want to try this strategy out and make code out of it and turn it into now a trading bot. And I've done quite a few now, and it seems to work in terms of being able to generate the code for it, and pretty decently too in Python that will interface with my environment for Rithmic. But what I'll put out soon with this Interactive Brokers, it'll be the same concept. And it could blow your mind if it actually works with live money. Because I've never seen anything like this where it's in Python, you tell it what you want exactly, and it will create the code for you in 10 minutes flawlessly at a very, very, very cheap cost. I mean, it's unheard of. That's all I can say. And you don't need third-party knowledge. I don't know if you really need advanced coding skills with this. I really don't. Because it's Python, as I said. And this one in Interactive Brokers on both client and server will be in Python at both ends. So it'll be much easier to understand. And yeah, with Python, it's amazing. It's not hard to set up. Any of you's got questions or comments, let me know. Blah, 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 blah. The other thing I'll give Interactive Brokers the edge over Rithmic is you can run all this in Linux with TWS. That's one nice thing I'll say about Interactive Brokers. Because you can run TWS, it's an older version, in Linux. It will still work. Because the API should theoretically work with TWS. And with AI, and because Interactive Brokers is so popular, with the prompting, you will get the coding for the requirement of Interactive Brokers as part of the coding, as it generates the code for you. Because Interactive Brokers is that popular, obviously. You guys got questions or comments? Let me know. I appreciate all your questions so far, Harry, Mr. Harry Potter. That's cool. 42 minutes. This topic's not as popular as I thought it'd be. Who knows? I think we peaked at 10 people, maybe something like that. Maybe 8, 9. I don't know. But if you guys got questions, let me know. But I'm gonna put this thing out soon, and that'll be on the ftcode.com website. Yeah. I think this will be a game changer for a lot of people. As I said, when people ask me where do I go, I'll point them to that because it's very cheap. All the resources for it are very cheap. You don't need Interactive Brokers. You can do it all in demo, and I'll see if that's true or not because they've changed that, or might have changed it to run in demo. But I'll see how it works. I think you asked another question here, Harry Potter. Stick in just one strategy and just one sector for better results, or better to open for everything about the algo work. Yeah, I'd be open-minded. Here's how I know. If you go on to Yahoo Finance and you look at what's trading right now and how with a profit, if you look at a retail Forex, let's say Euro USD, or I don't know, USD Japanese yen, it's going to move, let's say 0.5%, 1%, and same on the downside. Bitcoin's different because it's more volatile, more extreme. But if you compare the movements of Forex to futures, to equity, like a stock market, usually it'll be similar, unless there's some kind of news event where it will be much higher. But usually, on average, the moves are similar percent moves between, let's say, Forex and stock market, okay? And what you got to realize is what's going to move for today. And I've come to the conclusion, I've known this, but I've confirmed it multiple times now. What moves the most is going to be highly liquid, high volume assets. So we're talking the big ones. S&P 500, it could be Dow Jones right now is moving or can move. We've got obviously the usual big six in Forex, Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, all the big ones, right? Those are all the big ones. And you could focus on those. But there's always going to be that odd instrument that will move. So as I said before, and I tracked it all last week when the markets weren't doing too good, the only one that was moving was VIX. If you know the market's going down, you could trade the VIX. It could move up 5% intraday. It could move 7%. It was one day up 10% last week. So there is some predictability in there. And if you know how to play the VIX, when to play the VIX contracts and develop maybe a specific strategy around that with what I'm hinting at, man, you could do really well just alone on VIX when everything goes bad, and vice versa on the stocks. Because right now the stock market is coming around. I mean, I just saw on one tweet they said that the breadth of the U.S. markets are getting wider now, which means retail and institutions are getting back into the U.S. market. So there's going to be probably some strong cycles coming for the U.S. stock market, or U.S. dollars starting to come back. So there's some predictability in that. But if you want to amplify those moves and predict them and really amplify those returns when they move the right way, that's where you use options. And you can get, not 3%, you could get 10, 15, 20% with options, with no leverage. That's why I like options. And and that could be on any exchange or broker exchange, or with Rithmic, or let's say Interactive Brokers. But as I keep saying, to protect yourself on the downside or minimize it, that's why futures and options combined can do really well. And I see it now in my these daily trade plans. You learn a lot from it, and it'll tell you why, when to get in, why. Is it an arbitrage opportunity, or is it a hedging opportunity, or for protection? So there's all that you get with futures and options. And you can do all that in the micros as well. So just remember that. Who's got questions or comments? Thought we had a second person here. Harry, Harry Potter, if you got any other questions at all. Very good, you do. It's good. What news outlets you trust more? If anyone can say that for your data to analyze. Regular media outlets not working for me at all. Yeah, use a combination. Just look for a news feed aggregator, but it has to be paid. So the ones I'm using combine all the major financial, Bloomberg, CNBC, Financial Times are the big ones. But I'm also, as I said before, I'm using the unknown one, or better yet, the better ones, where all the chatter is on the groups like Elite Trader, or whatever it's called now, Big Mike. Those forums you can use as data feed, and then you just feed that into an AI and let the AI do the heavy lifting, and it will tell you, is it worthwhile to trade. So those are some examples, and obviously you can do the same thing with crypto, and there's a ton of crypto exchanges out there. The problem is a lot of the questionable crypto feeds are kind of junky, because it's all rug pulls and all that garbage in there, and they don't seem to have any form of credibility. But there are some good crypto feeds in there. If you go through a legitimate aggregator, they're usually going to filter out the bad ones, and just follow those, and then just feed that back into prompting, and that's how it works. It's not very complicated. Not complicated at all. Thank you, Mr. Harry Potter. If you guys got other questions at all, I know these get chopped up into shorts. Again, I use AI for that as well. But if you guys got anything else, if it's short tonight, I'm okay with it. I could build out this Interactive Brokers account for people, or there's a little course. I think it's going to be valuable for real beginners because they get overwhelmed too easily. And you will be able to theoretically custom build your own trading bots within 10 minutes on prompting an AI like against Minimax 2.1. When you see it, it blows your mind. You go, wow. And that's it. All the speculating is done. Everything's done. You don't need to rely on anything but the AI. Because there's so much chatter and noise out there, it's counterproductive, to be honest. And I'll give you an example. I used to follow a lot of the crypto stuff and all these little tiny coins with these ICOs and whatever else that turns into rug pulls. Nah, I avoid those at all costs because it's just losing money. I mean, crypto right now is just nothing but a scam. Outside of the big ones like Ethereum, Bitcoin, there's legitimacy there, obviously. Who's got other questions as well? Somebody was asking me about Bitcoin right now, if it's going to go up. I used to be that way a couple of years ago. I'm not too excited about Bitcoin. When Bitcoin is ready to move and shows movement potential, then I'll be all over it. But lately, it's been not doing too good. It's been in a crypto winter, since November. I think it's going to come back, and everything else will come back. And some of the cool things with the AI, it talks about the correlationships between U.S. dollar, NASDAQ, and I just saw one today where they're now competing. Like a lot of the cryptos competing against each other and other asset classes like gold. And it seems the AI is trying to figure out is there legitimacy with Bitcoin compared to when you have things like stable coins. Because you have to remember when it comes to crypto, there's trading and investing with crypto or for investing and speculating with crypto like Bitcoin. And then there's a utility of crypto. I just watched a bunch of old John McAfee videos. And he was saying, yeah, Bitcoin will go to zero because it's now regulated. So the value of Bitcoin's not there from a utilization point of view. So Bitcoin loses its value because of that. Whereas if you factor in true privacy, like a coin like Monero, it's utilized because of the privacy it brings, like the new real digital cash, that it's not traceable right now. So there's more value with Monero now over Bitcoin. And that was 5 years ago. And when you look, Bitcoin was going up with gold and silver as well, and that came down. But the private coins like Zcash and Monero did very well along with silver and gold when it spiked. It's because it's one of the last places to trade for private coins. And it eventually will get either banned where people can't trade it where they live, or they will basically ban you because they'll say, oh, you're evading. Because if you start speculating with Monero and use Monero, the automatic thing is either you're a criminal or avoiding tax. So Monero, I don't know. Harry Potter. Yes, this last sentence that getting complicated exactly what new traders don't get is not 2010, 2021 anymore for 20 time and 40 time wins. More work needed now is not an ATM machine anymore. Exactly. It's not. And the reason it's not, it's because Bitcoin wasn't regulated like it is now. I mean, you want to trade Bitcoin, even your dog's got to probably send a dog license to trade Bitcoin. It's just so regulated. So there's that, and that's killed off a lot of demand. But the real killer for crypto is utilization, okay? Because everything's all about speculation with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now there's no more utilization because of it. And what's really going to kill crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum are stable coins, because that's where the utility is going to go. That's what the U.S. government's pushing. That's where all the different countries are pushing out their own stable coins. So then why trade Bitcoin? I had a guy go on today going about Bitcoin's digital gold. I'm like, well, it's not since November. It's not been digital gold. It's been going nothing but down compared to what gold and silver has been performing. And people still argue it. It just blows my mind that people are still out there going on about Bitcoin. It's going to be blah, 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 blah. It's proven in the last 3 months it's not doable. Okay, I'm not here to... I mean, Bitcoin will come back at some point, but I would not want to tie up my capital with Bitcoin. I could have had it in gold and done really good there and not be in Bitcoin. And maybe now, okay, gold's not the place to go. Maybe silver's not the place to go. Maybe it is the US dollar that'll go up. Well, everything else is going down, which happened in, was it 2022 or 2023? Everything went down, and I'm getting 17% roughly just holding US dollar. That's it. I didn't even have to trade. I could just gone, shut down, and sat on a beach and just hold US dollar. But I mean, it went down last year, but it could come back for the year. Who knows? But because of that, and that's along with stablecoin as well, and that probably could legitimately kill off Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing. You know, how long you test for algo indicator strategies before you trade real money? That's a real question I'm struggling with, Mr. Harry Potter. I say that because there's different ways to attack it. I could test it right now, which I'm doing with this Treasury three-way arbitrage. Okay, it may not work. Okay, because the opportunity is not there yet. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm approaching it differently now. I would rather, because people will backtest to the day they die, analysis by paralysis, and they never go into live trading whatsoever, which I am guilty of as well. So my approach now, start small in a live trading account. In my case, 1,500. If I lose it, no biggie, because I can afford it. And it's like, I hate saying it, like a slot machine. You keep feeding it, and if you have control of the output of it, and you think you do, that's when you scale up the amount, okay? So only start small with what you can afford to lose. That's how I'm approaching it now. So what I'm saying is, I don't believe in back testing like I have, because I've shown where I can use AI, feed it data, real data, and provide that real data, and then ask the AI, say, tell me the status of this strategy. Is it legit based upon the metrics that it's telling me? And it goes, yes, no, maybe, here's this false I should do a post on it. But you can do that now with AI, and it's instant. And if you know you have something, don't backtest it. Just go with live money, a small amount. And again, 1,500 is not going to kill people if they got steady income. That's what I say. Because you keep testing it, okay, you may never, ever get into live trading, because maybe that trading strategy may no longer work after a day or 2 days. You know what I mean? So that's one of the other reasons why I believe now opportunities do not last forever. They may only last day of, because of the extreme volatility we're hitting now. And that's why I switched to Python to develop these things. It's really important people understand that. I'm on the same boat. Small, and maybe put alert on the strategy indicator to go full when the signals are there. Like a silent sniper. Yeah, exactly. And if you have a bigger account, what you can do is, let's say you do exactly what you suggest. You have a live trading account or a live strategy. You put it to the test, and it starts making money. Okay? Consistently makes money. You're going to keep that thing turned on. And maybe you come up with something else that can run in parallel. Okay? And it makes money. Okay? And then you have a third one making money. Once you stop making money, the particular strategy, you just turn it off. And you constantly coming up with strategies that are making money. And if you have so many strategies where they all can't trade out of your account, just stick with the strategies that obviously are performing the best, meaning the higher return. And you can now going to be at a point with AI where you can automate all this. It's crazy. And with agents as well. But I will hopefully get to that point because I'd love to have basically a set of strategies, bots, machines, whatever you want to call them, where they self-adapt to the market. And that's another thing I tested as well, where you can have strategies that will adapt to the market based on the data's on what the market data is being streamed to. So you could set up that way as well. That's a lot more experimentation, but I think we could get to a point where you could let these things run. If you're confident enough, just let them run and not look at them and see how they're doing. And then you can get apps or build a JavaScript front end or an HTML front end and watch it live trade. You can do that too with AI easily. Harry Potter, self-learning adaptation, nice point. Yes, that is the ultimate dream since automation or algo trading came out like 15, 20 years ago, is you build a series of trading strategies, automate it, and just run them. And you get to a point where they self-adapt or self-learn, and they change in how they trade in the market based upon the data. You can do that with something like Kelly Criterion, where let's say if you're an employee of a trading firm, you have a portfolio manager gives you 100,000 to trade with. You go through a week of solid performance and trading results. So your portfolio manager go, oh, that's great. I'll give you another 50K. So now you're going from 100 to 150,000 K. Okay, and you're trading really well. Same person will give you now 200,000 to trade with, and so on. But let's say you hit a bad streak where now you have 200,000, you lose 150 of it the following week. So what's going to happen? Your portfolio manager is going to take away 100,000 or maybe even 150,000, and you only have 50,000 to work with. That is how the Kelly Criterion works. It can be like your boss, and it will allow you to trade based upon your prior trading performance. So that's something you can trade like that and have it self-adapt based upon your trading performance, because that way you're protecting your account and you're taking out the emotion if you're paying or trading really badly with bad performance, and you can protect your overall account until maybe the market conditions change and improve, and then you could profit again. That's one way. Another way that a lot of people won't tell you, and I've mentioned this before, is if you go in with a goal to make 1% on a trading account every day, okay, and you start at, 9 o'clock open trading hour, and you make that 1% in 15 minutes, shut down the system, and start her up again at 9 a.m. the next day. And people go, why would you do that? Because you're preserving your return. You met your target, stop, and trade again next day. And get your next 1%. However, it could take 5 minutes, it could take 5 hours. But once you hit that 1% or whatever your target is, 2% a day, shut her down and start again. And you could fully automate this. And the reason you do that is because if you trade enough, same with gambling, right? It's a form of gambling, really, trading. But when you're on a streak of profit through whatever it is, euro dollar, Bitcoin, whatever, and it's rising, you have a target in mind, but yet you want to continue riding that streak from 1%, 2%, 3%. especially with volatility right now we have, just take the 1% because over a trading session, most likely you will not get and retain your 1%. The probability will be against you. So that's what I'm saying. If you just stick with a daily target of 1%, shut down, and start again the next day. That's the easiest way to get around that, to achieve that goal every day. So again, putting trading and AI aside, I got a little respect nowadays for computer engineers who did all this manually for so many years, treat the market like casino, take the gain and go for drinks. Yeah, well, you probably lose a profit in your drinking or your cocaine or whatever. I knew a very good algo trader, and I was in Niagara Falls. They have casinos. He take his daily profit, $600 cash, and at night he gambles it, and he lost it. Second night, same thing. It's like you're taking the profit that you make and you lose it through real gambling. And it's not the way to go about handling your money, just saying. But in terms of respect, yeah, it's a hard business. But AI, you would think it'd make it easier. And it probably could when the markets trend and you have the positive momentum like we had. And a good example of that's gold. Like gold has dropped 20-something% last week, and it spooked people. They do that on purpose, by the way. And that's the easy trading. But if you know how to do options and futures, and know how to arbitrage and hedge to protect your downside, it's not gambling anymore. It's not a casino anymore. It's you're preserving and retaining your wealth and building it when the moments come around. As I said, with futures and options, you can actually profit in really bad markets. Just got to know what to trade. And as I said, VIX will be a good one. I keep saying that. And it's proven. Just look at the performance of VIX compared to everything else during that day. VIX is always on top, big time. Yeah, if you guys got comments or questions, I have a funny feeling it's going to be a short one tonight. If you guys got comments or questions, let me know. I think I'm not getting the numbers, they hang out, it just drops down quickly. Mentioning the private coins don't help either on the stream. So if you got questions or comments, let me know. Let me ask you, what do you want to see as the next topic? I think I'm going to get to a point where you see these videos, and they're actually streams where some guy will go out and say, trade with me, or let me build my trading bot live on YouTube. I may do that one day. The stream won't be that long because you do it in 10, 15 minutes and trade it. But I may do that, maybe. I don't know. I'd like to see people's reaction to that one. But the thing is, the verification for trades is going to be very important now. Because everybody and their dog is claiming to be a consultant in a career, consultant in obviously trading, career, because they had a job for 2 months in a quant company, now they're an expert. It's a joke. And if you don't have a proven third-party verifiable track record, you probably will end up losing money, especially now with AI. This guy today kind of challenged me. He said, show me your track record. Okay, I said, well, show me yours, because he claimed he had one. So he pulls one out from 2 months ago, and all it was just images of a track record from Schwab. And it was kind of funny because I took those two images that he had from 2 months ago, fed them into the AI, and I asked the AI, I said, is this legit? And this is with Gemini 3.5 Pro. It said no. So I went back to the guy and said, look, it's not legit. The AI said so. So I took those images and I told the AI to say, hey, give me a duplicate of these two images, put $1 million return on them, okay? And not just that, notarize them, right? So it notarizes them, puts John Smith notarized it, and there is a lawyer in New York for John Smith to notarize it. Gave me my $1 million return, and I sent it back to him. He didn't know what to say. And actually, it turned out that his track records were when it was performing back then, and they're flat for the last 2 months. So don't believe what you see track record BS. I can easily duplicate them and even show notarization on them. They're useless. I could put $1 million one in, and I could put my own out and make millions from it. For me, I don't do it because I believe in God. I don't want to have lightning come down on me. You know? So, yeah. More questions is great. Thank you, Harry Potter, for being the one. Videos for clicks only are those you mentioned. To take those 1% is more hard than everyone thinks. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I believe that, and people will kind of, obviously it's clickbait, right? So in my case, I'll tell the AI what I want from the transcript in the video, and it will literally come back and say, oh, you got an 87% return or 146% return, just based upon one little thing in the AI. And I said, okay, make a thumbnail out of it, and boom, there it is, 146%. There's an element of truth to it, and does the clickbait thing work? No. It just makes you look like a goof. But there's a lot of people that will get sucked into the world of goofs, you know? So, there you go. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. What goes on behind the scenes with these people. And as I said, I can make my own third-party broker account records. No problem. No questions asked. And just tell the AI what you want, and off it goes. The key, if you really want to know the key behind it, there's 2 ways to go about it. You can either the one way to verify a track record is to get it notarized by a lawyer or an accountant. But that's still meaningless, right? Because what are you going to have? These people online call the accountant, see if it's legit or not? No accountant or lawyer is going to really notarize it properly. If you have a multi-million, for a retail trader, like a mom and pop trader, the better way to get one of the third-party journaling software that journals trades. TraderSync's one. You could do in the world of crypto, use cointracking.info, which is German, and you could post your track record, and that track record will have your name verified that it is from this broker or exchange. It's verified because it's on cointracking.info, and it's on cointracking.info's website, and it's publicly open, meaning as it's trading and it's synchronized with the trading account, that is third-party verified, and that's the only way to get around that. And the other way, from a professional point of view, there's two ways to do that. When I talked to the London Quant, when he set up his hedge fund, he said he had to get one of the big 4 consulting companies to audit everything in his firm. Everything. All the processes, software, everything had to be audited for $70K. Once that stamp from the auditor came in, that is how you get investors, because they know it's legit. And the other way to get verified through institutions is through the clearinghouse. They will want to see the clearinghouse trading records. That's how it's done. If you don't have them, you ain't going to get cash, especially now. Sorry. Okay. Mr. Harry Potter asks, I have my AI Insist to finish through mock data tests. Can't use mock data, you got to use real data. It's easy to get real data now. Again, you can get it kind of through Interactive Brokers. You could get it off of Rhythmic if you're willing to pay for the market feed, which is only $40. Like, really? People don't want to do that. It's amazing. Anyways, I can share my app build because you will appreciate it better than anyone else. Yeah, send it over. I don't know if you know the process or if you're on my email list. Just go to quantlabsnet.com. Just so people know, I do have a chat message on there, and what they do is they just go hi, but they don't put their email in there. So how do I respond? You know what I mean? It just says hi, and they're expecting me to be on there 24/7. So that's not going to work. And as you put in that message, and you want me to respond, I'll need to have your email. I won't be adding your email to anything because you have to explicitly do that. There's laws against that. So if you want to have a chat, it's all cool, but you have to put your email in there. If not, I can't help you. You won't be hearing from me. It's just how it is. It's logical, right? You want to hear back from somebody via mail. If you don't give a return address, what do you expect's going to happen? Right? You know what I mean? Anyways, but that's what I would recommend you do if you want to send me your software. But just make sure you put some return email on there to initiate conversation. I'm not on that thing 24/7. It is a way to communicate. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible, but I do need a response email, right? And another thing is when people sign up anonymously, it's not about a trust thing. It's like you want to be kind of respected and professionally handled. If you do it anonymously, I don't think the response will be that. I won't take it seriously. Let me put it that way. Some of the names I get on the emails just for a little free C++ HFT ebook. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's the way I put it. I'm not directing that at you, Mr. Harry Potter. I just want you to understand that's what I've been experiencing since I go through that process. You definitely need a return email. If you got any questions further, let me know. Hour and 17 minutes. At least you answer yourself and not an AI agent. Ha, at least for now. Yeah, that's true. Like I'm here live. Like I'm answering your real live questions. Yes, I could be an AI. You heard about the AI slop on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I am reachable. I am personable. I'm real. It's real me. But a lot of people hide, make themselves inaccessible, and they'll charge you $20,000 for what? I don't know. But they won't make themselves available. Because they're chickens or scam artists, one or the other. Yeah, so there you go. For the people that are sending out the likes, I appreciate it. It's not getting them people sticking around because of doom scrolling. Love doom scrolling, man. I don't know how people are going to survive a year from now. Somebody on here and they know who they are. It's kind of funny. There's a guy, IT guy, he hasn't found a job for 1 year. 1 year. Fine, that's real. So what does he do? He goes on YouTube and makes a career out of helping people find jobs when he's been out of work for a year, and he's trying to get a consulting thing going to help people find jobs when he's been out of work for a year. How many people are doing that right now? Right? And then we have, again, I'm not going to mention names here, but these coding career gurus trying to milk out of people and put out these interview websites from so-called firms or whatever to get jobs. Yesterday I just saw a site called clcoding.com, all for free. You can get all your interviews, all the resources, all for free. How do you compete against that? You can't. In this business called algo trading or anything financial, the only legit way to survive now with free and the race to the bottom is you better have a real good, verifiable track record that beats the market. Not even 1% of 1% can achieve that. There's no way you're going to survive long term in this game. No way. That's just how it goes. Otherwise, you're going to get withered away because of AI and people doing their thing with AI. So, what's the point? Like, what, you can't put out a website showing people how to get jobs in a set of firms when it's trying to like win a lottery. It's crazy. Anyways, good. I am good going for coding now with more ideas from what we talked about today. Thank you. No problem, Mr. Harry Potter. That's what I do. I enjoy doing this. Everyone says, "Oh, you're doing it for money." I'm gonna be honest. I'm doing it for marketing. If you like what I do, just join my web email list on the website. Simple as that. At least I'm honest about it. But in terms of coding, okay, as I said before, vibe coding, if you don't know your technology, you will get killed. You will get eaten alive with big bills. If you knew the basics of coding, specifically in Python or JavaScript, if you know the DevOps and how to build things and run them outside of the AI, you'll save a ton of money. You'll save at least 50% in AI costs. Now, if you want to use, as I said earlier, that one Chinese AI, yeah, you can save a lot of money by doing the building or letting the AI build and run and deploy for you. You will save money still. But if you're one of these Claude Code guys using Claude, that's going to cost you who knows what in a month to get something productive out of it, you're going to get killed. You will financially get killed. Yeah, but I've already mentioned the Chinese AI LLM. That's 5% of the Claude cost. Claude's very good. And as I said earlier, this one's really good as well. People are going to go now, what AI is that? Well, I talked about it, an hour ago? Anyways, if you guys got questions or comments, let me know. I could go on and on all night. Got 4 people on. If you guys questions, comments, I know you're gonna scroll away. I know you will, because I got nothing to say that you want. You're looking for your new shiny toy. That's what you want. You want your shiny toy that will teach you and have a forest set of trees that will grow money for you. Got some bad news for you. Don't exist. No problem if you've left Mr. Harry Potter. If you guys got questions or comments, let me know. But it ain't gonna be fun times for a lot of people. I mean, I think AI will be a big transition. It's a major hype for the next while. Could be a year. I don't know how people financially get around that. A lot of companies will use it. I just found an article where now India's setting up their own dark factories. So if you don't know what that is, look it up. And that's a big deal because those used to be jobs for real people. So India's doing it. Japan's doing it. Korea does it. China does it en masse. Japan does it en masse. So those jobs are gone. Now everyone's becoming consultants or doing whatever online. Well, welcome, join the line. And that's a race to the bottom itself. So what do you got left, right? I've done the survey for my audience that there's quants that want to be independent quants. I can help you there. But there's people that want the job. Well, get in line and compete against 20,000 other people. And even these creators that are doing it, they're complaining about the recruiting process is like why they're like 30 interviews to talk to some junior guy. And then they hire you if they want. Because there's the talent, the supply is so much. If you really want to survive in this business, I've seen it from interview, high profile HFT shop. What they said, you do not focus on coding anymore. You focus on math and physics. Because no one's focused on that. Everybody's focusing on coding. Everybody in their dog codes. And we know that's done because, well, AI can do it and do it better. But like math and physics, that's problem solving. and being able to do, and you can rely on AI to do that. You can't do that in a job, and that's where the value add will be in quant and HFT is these little things called math and physics, and that's what a lot of the management, when it comes to hiring, will tell people. We want math and physics gurus, students, coming out with their masters and PhDs in math and physics, not computer science. I think that's done. There's no questions on that. Because we got AI that can do it. I can do the thing in 10 minutes for bleep's sakes. So that's done. But physics and math now, for now, but that may change as well. So AI is changing everything. Now, funny thing is, I've been watching these videos on a place called Corsica, where the poor Corsicans live. I don't ever see AI affecting those folks. They're going to do what they do now and 10, 20 years from now. So if you want to survive, that's probably what will happen is people go out and just do their own little community thing and trade among themselves. Not well, you know what I mean. I do this for you and you do that for me, like bartering. That was predicted decades ago. But that's going to be the future to survive economically. Blah. So that's got everything to do with automated trading and HFT, quant coding. But, and then there's a lot of people moving too because of affordability. I'm going to be one of them soon. Taha. So if you guys got questions or comments, let me know. We're getting the paltry numbers now, hour and a half. If we can't get this up, no questions coming in, I'm going to have to end it because I want to build out this little course for people that really need the help. Yeah, I'm here. I'm live. And I know you want your shiny toy. I don't have one for you. I will soon. Oh, I have lots of them. But it's not going to be pushing a button and, whoa, millions of dollars coming out my bank account. Don't exist. We just lost one. We just lost a doom scroll. Oh, no. And one thing I'll say, we got rid of the trolls. I don't know how we magically got rid of them. Like a month ago, they're horrible, but we haven't had one in weeks. I don't know what I've done. Maybe YouTube's done something and kind of fed my channel initially to the trolls, and maybe YouTube said, we're not going to do that anymore to you. Maybe, well, thank you, YouTube. I appreciate that. If you guys got questions or comments, let me know. If not, I'm going to cut it short this time around. Save you an hour of me blabbering here. Anybody got questions, comments? I'll stay on for a minute, couple of minutes, waiting for comments, waiting for questions coming in. Please type away. Let me see. I see the numbers there, but I want to see people are actually got some legit questions. I got 4 likes. I don't think I got 4 likes on the stream before. Yay! Anybody got questions or comments? Let me know. If not, I will hang it up for tonight. Oh, we just lost another one. Okay, I'm going to put up my going once. So just type something, type a letter. Just let me know you're out there. Going once. No? Going twice. My WhatsApp's going crazy right now. I think people are arguing on a WhatsApp group right now. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. Okay, so we're done. We're done. Sorry. But I will have this thing available. Go to my site, quantlabsnet.com, and subscribe if you want to know about it. That's including you, Mr. Doomscroller. Yeah, join my website. Did I offend you? I hope I didn't offend you, Mr. Doomscroller. Oh, we got more people. Oh, my God. We got 5 people. I've got a question comment. Let me know. I'm here. I'm here to serve you. I know I'm a pretty boy, but if you got a question, let me know. Could be a troll. We haven't had trolls for a while. If you are a troll, I'll just laugh at you. Well, what am I doing to keep these extra people online for? Want to know about Interactive Brokers? Best broker in the world. Want to automate? Best broker in the world. Automate? Yeah, Interactive Brokers. Sure, why not? They accept everything. They're still on. Wow. Let me see here. You know, you could make $1 million with Interactive Brokers real easily. Did you know that? Wow. Would you like to know how? Would you like to know how you can make $1 million with Interactive Brokers? Ask a question. I'll tell you. It's a secret, but don't tell anyone. But I'll tell you right now. If you ask a question right now on Interactive on the stream, go ahead. I'm waiting. Give me a question. Give me a comment. Tell me how much you love me. No? Tell me how much you love programming or you love, I don't know. No? No? No one type anything? Okay. Maybe I should be billing YouTube for this. No? Okay. I'm gonna do it going once through 3 times and then we'll be done. If you type something, even in letter, that I know you're out there and you want to type something, I'll wait. So I'll do it going once. Oh, we lost everybody. That's funny. Going twice. Going 3 times. I know who's still there. Thank you, Mr. CNN. I appreciate it. We'll end it tonight. They all dropped off because something was said that they got offended. So I'll talk to you later, man. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.